Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last Know Your Resources of the season. So this is our 6th session and our last, but could be our greatest. You never know. So let's take a look, and I want to take a moment to introduce you guys really quickly to our 2 presenters. We have Miss Thandiwe Tembo, and then we also have Miss Catherine Clark. They proposed this idea to me, and you know what? The minute they came to me, I was like, yep. I've been wanting to feature all these resources for quite some time, and these ladies have made it possible through their co-op by being co-managers of Pathfinder, a group of student organizations that are interest-based, you guys, and they come, you can come from all over the university to be a part of it. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to learn about this great resource where you guys can come, check it out, and you get to see what interests around, and then make some new friends in your own class. 2020, the class of 2020 needs some time to meld, and I think that this is a great way to begin. So I'm going to just go ahead and step away and allow these 2 fabulous young ladies to tell us about Northeastern University's Pathfinder. Okay, thank you so much.
So hi, I'm Thandiwe. I am a 4th year computer science and design major, minors in criminal justice and marketing analytics. And I'm one of the co-program managers for Pathfinder this semester. Catherine, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure, I'm Catherine. I'm a 3rd year graphic design major through CAMD. And I am the other co-manager of Pathfinder program this semester.
So we're going to be talking to you today about Pathfinder. It's a new program started last fall under the Mosaic programs that's basically going to bring together a bunch of 1st and 2nd year students to discover your passions, learn about entrepreneurial thinking, and build a community while you're at Northeastern. So what is Pathfinder? Pathfinder is an extracurricular program here at Northeastern for incoming 1st and 2nd year students like you all. And we provide a safe and inclusive space for students to pursue their passions. We provide a bunch of different resources that we'll go through in a second for you to do all those things, learn about entrepreneurial thinking, and build a community while you're here. We know that it can be challenging for you to explore those interests while you're at Northeastern, and we want to provide you a space to build on those academic and career goals. So our mission here at Pathfinder is to create this interdisciplinary community and network for you. I kept saying entrepreneurial thinking and entrepreneurial spirit, and what we kind of define that is the ability to think and act like an entrepreneur. The ability to ideate and iterate through your ideas, to take initiative, to work as a team with people outside of your discipline or inside your discipline, to take risks, to pursue yourself forward, and to learn from any and all of your experience. We really want to empower students to have the confidence to take action after their time here at Pathfinder and develop their own entrepreneurial attitude.
So now we'll just go through the 3 main portions of our program, and we'll start with the roundtables. So roundtables are weekly meetings that we meet over Zoom. It has usually 2 to 4 moderators who are alumni or upperclassmen, and then there's also the students who are part of our program. So it's a safe space where we provide weekly prompts and activities that relate to entrepreneurial topics, and we also build skills throughout. So it's a space where you can really check in with each other and see how you're doing, and it's a space where you can pivot if needed and decide a new goal or a new passion. And also we tend to share a lot of resources and links during these meetings so that we're able to share things that maybe we didn't know before. So the workshops are another portion of Pathfinder. So we host them by every week, sometimes more than 1 per week. And they are mostly Mosaic organizations, but also other offices around campus. So we'll hold these recording sessions over Zoom and basically just talk with the hosts about what resources they can provide for students. And a lot of these resources are a little bit unknown, or maybe not everyone knows about them at least. So these are a great way to kind of learn the ins and outs of Northeastern when you're first entering. And they're all recorded. So we actually have a podcast and a YouTube channel right now. that has all of our workshops. So if you miss it live, they're great to listen to passively, and you can just check in once in a while and see what we've been up to. So the final portion is Road to the Makeys. So this semester, we are encouraging students to build a skill during their semester with Pathfinder. So we start with goal setting, and we build action steps each week during Roundtable. And we'll do check-ins every single week to see how people are doing with their goals.
So now that we've kind of walked you through the three main elements of Pathfinder, we want to take you on your own little roundtable and workshop. So our first roundtable that we had this semester was based off of goal setting and SMART goals. So in this mini roundtable, we're going to walk you all through how to set a goal, how to use SMART goals efficiently, and then go through a little bit on failing fast and how that can connect to your goals. So if you all have something to write with, like a pencil or paper, open a Word document, anything like that, you can bring that up. And basically what we're going to do is brainstorm some skills and some goals. So think about what skills and goals you would like to achieve early on in your Northeastern career. Maybe you would like to have some social goals like networking and using LinkedIn or making new friends on campus. Maybe your goals are more academic, like learning an actual skill like HTML or just arriving to class on time. Maybe you have some more physical goals, like being able to do a handstand, going to the gym more, learning yoga, being able to run a 5K. Maybe your goals are more hobby and passion oriented, like setting up your own Etsy shop or starting your own venture or becoming more familiar with the Boston area that you might be in. Maybe they're more mental based, like starting to meditate or having a gratitude journal or working on doing daily affirmations every day.
And the great thing about this brainstorming web is that you don't have to be super specific, or you don't have to have a fully fleshed out idea when you're doing this. You can really just write down a single word or maybe a verb, and in the next few steps we'll turn that word or verb into a goal that you can actually achieve. So this is a really easy and kind of beginner way to just scribble down some words that you're interested in.
So I guess I can start with one of the goals that I have. This semester, with everybody being inside and a lot of us are kind of sitting down at the computer a lot, working, one of the goals that I have is to be more active. So some things that I've written down are doing yoga or going for a run every morning, maybe working out 3 times a week. Those are some of the goals that I've written down. Some other ones might be like, I want to walk to a new area of the city. I want to explore the city that I'm in, or kind of learn more about my major and what my post-grad plans might be. Those are some of the goals that I have. Does anybody else want to share one of the ones that they came up with?
I wrote down that within my first 2 years, I want to achieve better verbal articulation, and I would like to participate in a law internship.
That's great. Anybody else want to share another one?
Good morning, everyone. I share one. I also, so I work at the TOOT, but I also am a student after school as well. And so I wrote mine with that in mind, thinking it could be valuable for myself and for students. And one is to learn better time management skills.
So now that we have kind of all these goals that we have in our head written down on paper, what we're going to do next is start narrowing down our goals. So obviously right now we're thinking about this semester or this year, next year. We're thinking kind of in a short term, and we can't do everything all at once. So to actually achieve a goal and flesh it all the way out, we want to narrow down the goal that we're going to start working on. So from that large list of goals that you might have written down, maybe narrow it down to like 3 goals that you could see yourself actually doing during this semester or this year or 2. This semester, I want to network. I want to build my network, build my professional network, my academic network. Another one could be, I want to learn HTML. I want to learn the basics of web development, and I want to potentially use that later on to like build a website. And the third one that we kind of have here is explore Boston. Maybe you're new to the city and you want to learn more about the area that you're living in. So one goal could be exploring Boston.
For my goal, I put increase my GPA this semester.
You know, one goal I have, but I'd have to definitely go with the narrowing down goals, is that JDOAAI used to have it was a staff basketball team, slash student team, and the staff would compete against the students. Once we can get back to normalcy in a little while, I think that would be fun to have just like a fun sports league for us to do, considering our year of sitting and thinking and pondering and working, you know?
Those are both really great goals to start thinking about narrowing down and kind of working on. So next we're going to go over what a SMART goal is.
Yeah, so a SMART goal is just a framework that you can use to make sure that your goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So it can help you take those 1 or 2 word goals and brainstorm goals that you created and turn it into a sentence that you can actually achieve. So for this example, we can take the networking goal, which I think is a really great goal, especially when we're all remote. It can be really hard to meet people, and networking can include just making friends and making connections with your classmates and your teachers. And then it can also be like a career professional kind of networking situation. So if we're using the SMART goal structure, then we're going to make sure that it fits all of the letters. So here's an example of a SMART goal. I will improve on my networking skills by reaching out to 2 people each week in my major or field of interest who go or went to Northeastern on LinkedIn to learn more about their experience or career path. So we go to specific, you want to make sure that, we're using LinkedIn, we're using alumni or current Northeastern students. Measurable, we're using 2 people each week. So you can check it off whether or not you did it. And then attainable, again, reaching out to 2 people, writing a message on LinkedIn is very attainable for most people. And then for the R, we have relevant. And if you use LinkedIn, you go to Northeastern, then I think this is very relevant. And then time-based, again, we use the week as our time measurement. Basically, using this format, you can check it off each week. Did you do it? Did you not do it? And you can see that growth every single week.
So now if you all want to go through that goal that you narrowed it down to and turn that goal into a SMART goal, and then maybe we can hear a few, go through whether it actually is a SMART goal, see if we can clean it up to be an achievable SMART goal, and then we can move on to failing fast.
You guys, there's one thing that I'd like to voice about these SMART goals. I think this is a great way and effective way to make rational decisions about how to move forward with your ideas and priorities. There's one word of caution I'd like to just put you out on now. When you define your SMART goal, make sure you have a very rational, defining amount of the task you've set. Like this one is 2 people a week, for LinkedIn. So just make sure that whatever goal you set is realistic, because if you set something that's a little too high, I bet you anything, because this happens to me, if I do this, I'll start feeling incredibly bad and incredibly guilty about myself if I'm not reaching that high goal. But you know what? Life comes in and sometimes it can just wreck everything. But we recalibrate and we figure it out. So, that happens in life, but you get back on track. So don't get discouraged if it happens, and don't beat yourself up. You can get back on track.
And that's kind of the great thing about Roundtable and this exercise that we're doing. This is something that you would do in your Roundtable group. So you have upperclassmen and alumni there to kind of like help you think through it and walk through it. You have fellow students, 1st and 2nd years, who are also walking through it and serve as that like accountability and encouragement. So that's kind of why we're going through this exercise, so that you can see how that community would actually work in action.
Yeah, and every week we ask, how's your goal doing? Do you want to change your goal? Is it still working for you? Which is a really important part of entrepreneurship, is iterating and checking in with yourself and reflection. So thank you, Simone, for bringing that up, because it is really important to pick something attainable.
If anyone has their SMART goal written out, feel free to share and we can like walk through it with you.
Okay, so I'm sticking with participating in an internship in the law field. And so far, I plan to do it this summer since I'm going back home for the summertime. And I guess some principles I've set out to approach that would be first, creating a LinkedIn page, because I see a lot of people are on there to build professional connections and network that way. So that would be one. I think as a tracking system, I could probably try to apply to at least one internship a week. So that way I'm able to maintain like everything I'm supposed to do with classes, but also have time to just go ahead and apply to put myself out there.
Yeah, that's a really good start. You have your specific goal in mind, getting an internship. You had it measurable where you're looking for something for the summer, attainable, one application a week. Applications usually don't take longer than maybe 20 minutes at most. So that's definitely something you can fit in and find the time for. Relevant if you are looking for the internship, filling out those applications is really important, and making a LinkedIn page is definitely a great way to find internships and meet people that could help you on that search. And time-based, you said you're looking for something for the summer, so you have like the time from between now and then to kind of put that into motion. Okay, now that you all have kind of that model of what a SMART goal is, you can definitely take those goals on your own time and think more about how to turn those goals that you've written down into a SMART goal, and then obviously put that plan into motion for the next semester, or summer, or year, 2 years, all that. The next thing we're going to be talking about is failing fast, which kind of also brings us back to what someone was mentioning earlier about setting goals that might be too attainable and you feel discouraged and things like that. So what failing fast is basically a principle that's very big within the entrepreneurial community. And it's something that can really help you narrow down your goals and achieve your goals. As we said earlier, we have workshops that are put on every week, sometimes a couple a week. And one of the workshops that we had this semester was on failing fast. Northeastern's venture accelerator idea, this is one of their big things that they push to their venture clients, is the idea of failing fast, and it's something that's definitely a pillar of their organization. So they put on this workshop. You'll definitely be able to check it out afterwards to get more in depth in it, but we're just going to kind of go over like a general idea of what failing fast is and how to implement that. So I have this quote here that says, failure is an important part of your growth and developing resilience. And what failing fast is basically just a practice that helps you emphasize on the process instead of the final product. So a lot of times we see the idea of failing as something that's negative and that we can't gain anything out of, and kind of like a dead stop end to whatever we were doing. But a big part of failing fast is being able to learn how to pivot and how to adapt and how to take that failure and learn something from it. Another quote that I have here is inspect what you expect. So being able to look at your goals, reevaluate whether they're worth your time and whether that goal and the plan you have in motion is going to get you the progress that you want. So you won't be able to achieve your goals without a plan. And in order to make that plan, you have to make sure that the goal that you have is something that's been evaluated and worth your time. And as far as implementing failing fast, we kind of have these steps and pillars of how to do that. So innovating and creating, you want to define your goals and write down creative ways to make it happen. Dissolving perfectionism, you want to be able to use failing fast as the roadmap instead of going straight to destination. Learning to adjust your personal rules and knowing when to stop. Experimenting with your solutions, you have to be creative about creating your solutions. You have to like talk to your friends or people that you would have in your roundtable groups, brainstorming, and remembering that failing fast is a practice and it's a framework. Assessing your goals, you have to know that if your goal is not testable, then they haven't been through what they need to be through, and inspecting what you inspect, like I said earlier. Organizing your ideas, you want to make sure that your ideas are organized in the way that you know which goals will get you where you need to go. So organizing them in a way that's maybe what's most exciting, what's most likely to lead to the end goal that you want. What goal could you work on if resources were an option? And lastly, connect and learn someone else's story. So going back to like the networking, talking to people, learning about what people love, what they hate, what their everyday kind of looks like, and learning from those stories and then being able to apply that to your goal and see how that can help you. And as I said earlier, we did have like a full-fledged workshop on this. So if you do want to check that out, we have the video version and the podcast version where they go a lot more into depth about this, so you can check those out. Our Canvas, which you can find a lot of the materials from our workshops, the schedule for all our workshops, as well as like the video and podcast versions, and then also our website, which goes more into depth about the program, all the elements of the program, who kind of the moderators might be, and where we also have all of our links to the podcast and the workshops.
Thank you very much. I have one very thorough, very good stuff, and I appreciate your time this morning. So thank you both very much. I had a question about not answering if you have a SMART goal for Pathfinder, like as Pathfinder success, but could you speak to maybe not SMART goal, but what is what might your hope be for, let's say, the coming semester or the summer or just the near future with Pathfinder?
Yeah, so Pathfinder is a pilot program. So our main goal is to basically show the administration of Northeastern and the deans our proof of concept that this type of program works. And by producing so much content in our podcast and our YouTube and our roundtables, we're hoping to show it's very entrepreneurial, but proof of concept and minimum viable product that potentially this program could receive more funding.
Oh, I was going to say, we also have a lot of different stakeholders and people we have in mind with this project. Obviously, we want to present it to the administration, show that this is something that we think needs to exist and can really benefit the university and students, but we also do build the program around students. And we do want to help first and second years, especially people like this group. I'm Ujima, so I know these are things that I'd never heard of until my third or fourth year of college, and stuff that I wish I had learned about earlier. So we do want to cater to first and second year students, especially in this pandemic when you can't meet people as much, and help them build a community with their peers within their major, outside of their major, and also help them build this experiential learning and entrepreneurial spirit that we try really hard to show people.
Thank you. That is great. And you touched on it earlier with your value proposition. And if I could ask again, or to speak a little bit more specifically to maybe some of the Ujima global leaders who are on and feel like, hey, I'm an engineer or I am a nursing major or something in entrepreneurial pursuits that doesn't directly apply to me. Could you speak to how the spirit of entrepreneurial or entrepreneurship can benefit all students?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm also Ujima, and I'm a computer science and design major. I have no desire to start my own business in the future, but I am part of IDEA. I'm one of the designers for their marketing team, and that's something going in that I never thought I would have done. But being on that team has taught me so much about entrepreneurship, in the idea that there is this way of thinking where you can think on your feet, you can learn to adapt, you learn new skills, even though I have no desire to kind of create my business in the future. And a lot of the workshops that we put on with these Mosaic organizations, you can learn the same things. So there is IDEA, which is more venture-based, more business-based, but there's also Scout, which is the design studio. You can learn similar things, but you're with people in this design field. There is Generate, which is more engineering-based. There are ones that are more science-based. There are ones catered to females. There are ones catered to the health field. So you're entering all these spaces and learning this kind of thinking on your feet mentality while you're still maybe not looking to start a business, but you're building on these skills and learning these new skills with your peers.
I've got a few questions for you guys. These groups can help. Do they have a group that's that teaches leadership skills, like student leadership skills?
Yeah, I would say that all of the Mosaic organizations emphasize student leadership since they are all student run. We don't have a particular, correct me if I'm wrong, Thandiwe, that's just about leadership, because each organization needs leaders, presidents, marketing, communications. At literally every part of their organization is run by students. So that would be my advice, is to just pick an organization that is interesting, and then it's very easy to become a leader in those organizations and learn how those types of big groups run.
So it's open to all NU students.
Yeah, the applications are rolling. So even if you want to apply for spring, it's not too late. You can apply right now, and we'll throw you into a group really quick, and that's that. Our applications are also really low pressure and really quick. So we really just do them to collect some additional information about our students, but there's no pressure. They're quite quick, and we just want to encourage people to apply.
And as for applications for like the Mosaic organization specifically, those are kind of like semester based because they do kind of hire before the semester, but those happen every year. So hiring for like fall semester, for example, those would be coming out soon because we are kind of towards the end of the semester. So if there are like a Mosaic organization that you are interested in, those applications will be coming out maybe sometime next month.
That was a great presentation, and I just wanted to say that I think the session was actually helpful, considering for me personally, because I'm currently working on like my professional development plan for my international business class, and a part of it is like deciding what our SMART goals are and how we're gonna like what steps we're gonna take to like achieve those goals. So I think that this is very helpful because sometimes I tend to just say, okay, I want to do this or I want to do that, but I don't say like, okay, what am I going to do to like actually get there?
Well, let's go ahead and say thank you. Thank you so much, dear presenters, Thandiwe and Catherine. Thank you very much for coming, sharing your knowledge with us and bringing it back to JDOAAI. And yes, this has been a wonderfully informative and helpful Know Your Resources panel. And I think it's a perfect complement to all of the resources we've been discussing and learning about all year. So this is a definite tool for everyone to use to help them get those skills to be a better speaker, interviewer, student leader, anything you want. This is where you can go to hone those skills, and you can hone them regularly. So reach out to Pathfinder. You know, you have the application. I'm sure if you have any questions further, you can reach out to our presenters, and I'm sure they'd be happy to speak with you guys more. And please share this information with your classmates too, if they couldn't attend. I think it's pretty important, and I know you guys will make great friendships, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
And also want to just remind folks too that we sent out an email. I sent out an email yesterday about some of the upcoming Ujima Global Leader events, and so we definitely want all of the Ujima Global Leaders to come together and connect. But we also know that the first year students this year has been particularly funky and challenging, and everybody has not had a chance to connect with each other, especially outside of each other's small groups. And so we see that, and we're thinking of you, and we want to come up with some events in the coming weeks that will allow you all to break bread and to have fun together. And then also that we remain available to help with you, especially with academic support. So if there are challenges you're having with your grades or anything else, to please still use us, and know that you can reach out to us directly if you have questions about whether I should withdraw from a class, or if I should come up with a new study plan because what I'm doing is not working, or you just want any other kind of support. Please use us, and then also know that we are still trying to get ways to better connect with you and your peers.
For sure. Well said, Sinquay. Yeah, with finals coming up, if you need some resources to help you finish writing that paper, or you need to find some new resources to study up in a new theory, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to do some Indiana Jones researching with you guys. So we can dive into archives, we can dive into Snell Library and see what we can find, okay? Also, don't forget Christine Oka. She is the African American Studies research librarian over at Snell. She is always willing to help us too. So never fear, you have information professionals everywhere. And yes, everyone here at JDOAAI, we support you. Reach out if you need us. We're here to help. And we can't wait to see how this year ends up, and excited for your futures.
Thank you, everybody. We'll break now, and hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much for having us. Pathfinder meets every week for roundtable discussions. We also meet weekly for workshops just like this one. So check out our Google Calendar and join in next time. Thank you so much, and have a great day.